So I know you may be thinking to yourself, okay, but what does a conscientious omnivore eat while he's moving literally over a ton of dirt by hand tools? So today, I'll show you guys what I'm eating for lunch here. I had a big breakfast of oats and fruit earlier, but yeah, now I'm going to have some grape leaves. These are rice stuffed grape leaves, Greek style. Bunch of bananas. I don't think I'm going to eat all of them. That's how many I got at the store just now. And some sourdough bread. So not homemade, not really what I would normally eat, but it'll get me through. And yeah, I think it's actually a fairly decent lunch. I don't know how many calories this thing is. I think it's a fair amount because it does have a lot of oil, and the rice has some calories as well. So yeah, but anyway, let's get into the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about this concept, as you've read in the title, about what I eat in a day videos. You'll see these over everybody's channels, from the hardcore carnivore to the hardcore vegan to anything in between. It seems like very popular kind of like video to make, and I have been hesitant to make one, and I don't think I will be making one, and I want to tell you guys why. So basically, in my mind, like being a vegan, you already get so much kind of attention focused on you from everybody thinking they know better than you to tell you what you should eat or not eat, or what are you eating enough of, or where do you get enough protein or B12 or zinc or God knows whatever else people are concerned about, that I just don't want to invite that kind of scrutiny upon myself. I don't feel like I actually need to justify to anybody what I do eat. And as far as giving people kind of like a good example of what things I think are healthy, I think I do that enough as it is, because I do have lots of recipes already on my channel. Most of them I would say are usually pretty healthy or very healthy. Some of them are slightly kind of junk foodish in the sense that like they have sugar or some kind of like oil or whatever in it, which I wouldn't advise people to eat on a very regular basis or a lot of. But as an occasional treat, I see no real issue with it, especially if you're in good health and you're otherwise eating a predominantly whole food plant-based diet. I think you're not really going to suffer any ill effects. So usually I try to give people really good healthy recipes, and I do try to stick to mostly whole food plants myself, but occasionally, I do eat some pretty, I would say, less than ideal food, but I also, again, don't think it happens often enough that it's going to affect my health. All my health markers are actually quite fine. I don't feel in any way, shape, or form like ill affected by it. And the other thing that I want to kind of mention is that as a vegan, you really almost kind of like can't win. I mean, it's amazing to me sometimes. I'm on live streams or just like seeing comments about me, like when I've done debates on people's channels, like especially like the milk jar debate that I did a long time ago with Logan, and the comments that kind of come up on that. I mean, it runs the gamut from people thinking I'm a scrawny, deficient, vegan, I'm weak, to people thinking that I'm fat and overweight, and everything in between, and that I'm pale and then pasty. I'm doing this video, it's like quarter after 11 at night. I'm dead tired, my eyes are probably bloodshot, I've been working all day, and I'm making a video at close to midnight. By the time I'm done editing it and doing all this stuff, it'll probably be like 1 o'clock in the morning. And people will comment about my complexion and whatever, and I don't have lights, I don't have like whatever, like the computer screen is actually illuminating my face, I have lighting behind me, it's beyond less than ideal. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I couldn't care less what people think about my complexion or about my skin or about my anything. I'm actually the most tan I've ever been probably in my whole life. You just can't see it on this like really poor lighting in the middle of the night. But anyway, I mean, I've been working out in the garden, like, and doing like insane amounts of like outdoor kind of stuff. So like I've probably never spent so much time outside in my whole life in the past 20 years of like working. Like this is probably the most I've ever been outside. So it's just funny when people comment about my pale skin or whatever. Like, they don't know what I used to look like as a kid. I was like white as a sheet, and my two like skin tone colors were pale and pasty and burnt to a red crisp because like I didn't tan. But now, because I've been so like gradually kind of like working outside, I've got an actual nice like brown color. But anyway, so I say this all. I think it's actually quite funny, and I don't take offense to it. I just really couldn't care if somebody wants to make fun of my, like body, like whatever image. I just don't worry about it. But the reason I don't do these videos is because that I actually would kind of take offense if somebody were to like start nitpicking the details of what I eat and start saying like, look, he's not getting enough, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I don't know, pick your nutrient of choice, the nutrients. And so I think if I ever were to make a video about kind of like what I eat in a day, I wouldn't do as a what I eat in a day. I would make some kind of meal plan where I would say like, guys, here's a meal plan that I've like done for the whole week, or maybe even like a month-long week, alternating kind of like meal plan that would take you through a whole month with some diversity so you don't get bored of it. At some point when I have like, good, like a gajillion hours of free time, maybe I will like do something like that for people who are kind of like struggling of what they should be eating if they're trying to transition to a vegan diet and lifestyle. I think that can be really helpful, but there's so many channels out there that already do such a great job of this that I just don't really feel like this is my niche of like, A, my expertise, and B, like it's not in my interest. I love food, I love eating, but I have never been concerned about like macro splits. I don't know how much protein I eat. I don't know how much fat I eat. I don't know how many carbs I eat, and I don't care. Even when I was like really obsessed kind of with like having like a better physique and like losing some body fat and whatever, and like, like even then I wasn't dedicated enough to like maintaining a careful look on my diet of like, okay, this is how many calories I'm getting, whatever. Like I can't be bothered to weigh my food and know how many ounces of like this I'm eating or that I'm eating. I couldn't care less. I eat until I'm full and maybe a little bit more because I love eating, and that's pretty much it. I have a very steady weight. I've had the same kind of weight for like years now. I fluctuate maybe a tiny little bit here and there depending on activity level, but I'm totally pretty much steady at my weight. I can do everything that I like doing, from running to working all day, like moving dirt in the garden. It like doesn't phase me. I can keep up with anybody. You guys have seen my race that happened in May. On virtually no training, I managed to cover almost 78 kilometers. Like, somebody who's like telling me I'm too fat or too whatever, like show me your best run on no preparation and tell me if you beat 78k. I just I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered to care about like what I eat in a day kind of video and put it all into Chronometer and check to make sure that it's got enough this, that, and the other, and calcium and zinc and folate and whatever. I mean, if you're eating the way I'm eating, I'm absolutely confident you're going to be getting all your nutrients. I do take a B12 supplement. I've talked about that in many videos before. And besides that, I'm just absolutely confident that I'm getting enough of everything because I'm healthy and I've been doing this diet for quite a while. And there's been no ill effects, and I've had medical checkups with blood work, and there's just nothing to be concerned about whatsoever. So I just, I think that's pretty much it for the video. That's the bulk of what I wanted to say. But I just don't want to be kind of like held up as some kind of role model that like if I screw up one day and maybe by some crazy stroke of chance I do end up eating a slightly deficient diet on one particular day of some particular nutrient. Maybe I didn't get enough selenium or something. I didn't eat a Brazil nut that day or something, as trivial as that. These are the things that I never worried about as an omnivore, and it's damn sure not something I'm going to worry about now. If anything, I'm eating more nutrient rich food because I'm eating more variety of plants and more of them. So I just don't think that that's going to be an issue. And I have friends who went vegan after I went vegan. I like to think that some of it was my doing to convince them to do so. And one friend in particular, he was like almost like fanatically like tracking all of his meals every single day in chronometer for like a month, because he was really concerned about making sure that he got enough of everything. And he said that usually by midday he had hit all of his targets for the day for like every single like vitamin, nutrient, of concern, like every single one of them, and almost every single day. I mean, you can hit probably like up to like half or 2/3 of your goals by getting a big bowl of oatmeal, like I showed you guys in the beginning. You get some flax seeds in there, you have your omega-3s, you have your like all sorts of nutrients from the oats themselves, from the fruit, from the raisins. I mean, there's just like, if you want, you can pour on a pre-bought, pre-made plant milk, which would maybe even be fortified with B12. I mean, you can almost like hit everything you need with just breakfast if it's big enough, So it's like people are just way like too concerned about these like nutrients, when really the cause for concern should be the overconsumption. That's what is driving the illnesses and the chronic diseases of our day. It's the overconsumption of calories, the overconsumption of everything. And especially I would argue animal products. So the saturated fat, the trans fats, the cholesterol that's in these products, that is what's making people sick. And also, of course, all the hormones and the chemicals and everything else that comes along, as a package deal. And what people don't realize is that the illnesses that people are seeing are not because people aren't getting enough vitamin A or whatever. It's like that's not what we're seeing. That's not what's causing the world's problem. And that's why I don't really want to be kind of thinking that like, okay, if one day what I eat might not be the most nutritionally sound or the best, health-wise, but that's what I'm showing you guys. Somebody is going to come at me and be like, you're deficient in this or that, and then I'm somehow going to like have to justify that or whatever. Like, I couldn't be bothered. I know that there are probably some days where maybe I ate too many calories, maybe I ate too little, maybe I didn't get something. But the thing is, like, the body doesn't work like, oh my God, one day, like, you didn't get something and now you're dead. Like, that's not how it works. If you ate plenty the next day, you're fine. There's going to be kind of like a little, ebb and flow, like, in your body, and it can adjust to things. Now, if you're eating, like, chronically deficient in something, of course something bad can happen to you. But even that will usually manifest itself over time. It's not going to just be like from 1 week to the next, even probably not even from 1 month to the next. Unless it's like really drastic. But at that point, you are probably starving yourself of calories. That's about the only way you're going to be like seeing some kind of like drastic change very quickly. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. If anybody wants to see what I eat in a day, you could pretty much just guess based on what I've shown you here and what I've shown you in many of my recipe videos. That's pretty much what I eat in a day. And I'm not going to get more specific than that for these reasons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have kind of similar experiences with people nitpicking and looking at kind of, what you do or what you eat under the, the microscope of, I don't know. I don't even know what, like superiority or something, that people just think that they somehow can tell you what to do or what you should be doing. Because I think it's kind of funny, and maybe let me know how you deal with it. But usually I just kind of laugh it off. I don't really even engage with that kind of comment. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye. Goodness. I just love me some grape leaves.